Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the gayest and greatest secret tavern this side of Lim Solominsa, the Queer Buccaneer. I am your host of the motion star behind the bar, Captain Eden Jackson. How are you all doing on this lovely Wednesday? I'm doing pretty good. I've been making Twitch overlays for people today, which is nice. I've been doing this like pay what you can Twitch overlay thing for the past 3 weeks or so. I've made 6 of them so far, which is a fair amount. And yeah, it's been really nice. How have you all been? Have you been up to anything interesting since the Monday stream? I clipped the story of me regaling the worst train ride from hell that I had over the weekend. That seems to have been rather well received on the YouTube as far as like clips from my channel tend to go. Playing Date Everything and sleeping mostly. That's a pretty good day. This is today is like a strange day for me because like I have basically adapted to a very evening and late night sort of day pattern. We will get to sleep at maybe 2 o'clock. I'll get up at maybe like 9-10 o'clock, which it works for me. It's not the best as far as like getting out and doing stuff goes, but it's what me and Zach have naturally fallen into. But tomorrow I need to be up at 7:30, which is you can see from somebody that gets up every other day at like 9-10 o'clock. That's really rough. So like I can't get into something really late today, which is why these streams have had to become shortened. I can't get into something really late today, which kind of means I don't have a lot of time to work, which is fun. Not my preferred method of doing stuff, but we do what we can, you know. I completely lost my train of thought there. Yeah. Today we're doing another one of these. Speedrun logo challenge thingies. And I'm looking at the wheel now. I'm realizing I keep forgetting to take stuff off the wheel because Pizza Planet is still on there, and that shouldn't be on there. Maybe I need to hit the save button. Yeah, let me hit the save button, and then it should save. That's how the save button works, right? Vin, hello, welcome. How you doing? I think we should bring the wheel up. For those of you that haven't been to one of these streams before, here is the wheel. Every week we spin the wheel. Amber, welcome. Every week we spin the wheel, and wherever it lands, we research and rebrand the wheel. We research and rebrand whichever company lands on the wheel. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff on there. There's Acme Corporation, there's Black Mesa, there's Bonk Atomic Punch, there's quite a few TF2 ones there. Vin, thank you for the 78 months of sub. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Yeah, see a lot of companies from fictional companies, some of which you'll have heard of, some of which you wouldn't have heard of. Last week we did Gadgetron from the Ratchet and Clank games. Megacorp is already on here. It would be wild if we got Gadgetron one week and Megacorp the next. There's only one way to find out where we are going to land. 78 months. That's so long. I'm trying to figure out how many years that is. 72 is 6 years. That's 6.5 years. How does this tie into my very specific hyperfixation? Let me know what your very specific hyperfixation is, and I'll let you know. And I'll let you know how it ties into it, because this ties into my very specific hyperfixation, which is logos. And I'll get into that later. I'm hoping that I think Umbrella is on here. Umbrella is not on here, so I'm going to add Umbrella right now. Umbrella, and if there's any others that you want to add, there is a if there's any others you want to add, there is a redeem in the channel point rewards that you can get a company added onto the list. And I'll just add it right then and there. Shall we spin the wheel? Oh, Umbrella is on the wheel now. Let's Spin the wheel. Ooh. Ace Chemicals. Ace Chemicals is where we're currently the book Once and Future Wishes. I don't know what that is. So I cannot help you there. So let's go over to our research screen and I will hit the go button on the timer as we search Ace Chemicals. So Ace Chemicals, for those that don't know, is from the DC universe. It's in all of the Batmans. I believe it's the thing that we have splits now. It is a speedrun now. We have splits. I believe this is where the Joker fell into the pot of goo. Yeah, notably the site of the creation of the Joker. So this is the logo, I think, from the Arkham games. Let's see about yeah, okay, we've got Arkham, we've got this is another logo again from the Arkham games. And there is, I think that's Jared Leto falling in there. The less said about that, the better. Is there a just that because that so these are all from the Zack Snyder movies, so that's wank. Let's instead go to I just want the DC wiki. I don't want the DC. There we go. That'll do. Okay. So this is from all of the Batman. There's no gallery. Take me to the gallery. So this is also a shit wiki. Holy shit. Give me a DC Universe. Is that DC Universe Online? Why is nobody written about Ace Chemicals? I'm gonna have to go to fucking fandom again. But all my homies hate fandom. So this is some logo of it, which is shite. This is from the game. We don't want the game. We don't want DC Universe game. Ace Chem from the fictional companies wiki. Okay, this is all we've got. This is the logo. They're a chemicals plant. This is what the logo looks like in vertical. Art. We are doing an art. We are speed running an art. So I'm just gonna grab this and dump it in the Illustrator doc that we've got. So I didn't have an Illustrator doc open, which is a time loss. But we make do. This is also time loss. Illustrator's trying to fuck on me. What is this from? This is from DC Comics, specifically Batman. This is the home to the vat of chemicals that the Joker fell into when he became the Joker, if you believe that version of his origin story. So Ace Chemicals. We'll grab a couple of different versions of the logo. And we'll do that just by Googling Ace Chemicals logo and seeing all of the different ones that come up. We're not Googling. Ace Chemicals Batman logo. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that from? That's a bit sexy. This is the one from DC Universe Online, which is also absolutely shite. Like that's a joke. That's an absolute joke. It's also like 9 by 9 pixels. We've got that's not from the thing. What's that from? That's from Lego Batman. Ooh, that's pretty. That's actually quite pretty. I don't hate that. That might be that's the best one yet. That one from Lego, best one yet. So now let's have a look at some like big pharma logos. Is that what they're looking for? In the 89 film, it's Axis Chemicals. Is it? Axis Chemicals Batman. It is. Weird. Why did he rename it? That's odd. that's weird. Ace Chemicals. Let's see what the so it's a chemical processing plant. Next to the Monarch playing card company. That's an interesting. Ace playing cards. Whatever. So this is their usual logo. The sort of very, very boring. Just very, very boring. So these are logos of big pharma companies that we might want to be sort of aping. I'm not sure if that's the vibe we want to go to, or do we want to go, because it's not like, I don't think they develop stuff. I just think they're a processing plant, but I wouldn't know what to Google for that, you know? But like, I quite like the sort of the natural shapes, the very soft curves of all of these. Even Moderna's got nothing going on. That's shite. There might be something in using the ace of spades. Maybe like combining these two into something. Like using the ace of spades, but the shape of that. I don't know. But let's see. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the sort of history, the in-universe history. Plant is connected to Kane Chemicals, company owned by the parents of Martha Wayne, sold to Apex Chemicals, then in turn became Ace Chemicals. Okay, so it goes through a lot of hands. It's a lot of it's a subsidy. It's a subsidy of a subsidy of a subsidy, that kind of thing, which is not the best, not the worst. I should zoom in so y'all can read. I've got to have it in like a granny mode. So like it's just a big sort of big goofy factory. I don't know if it's like a proper, again, it's a chemical plant. But if I Google chemical plant, I'm gonna get Sonic shit. I'm just gonna get Sonic shit. Give me chemical plant company, so I can see what the logos. Libra Specialty Chemicals. Again, it's that sort of soft curves, things like that. Chemical plant, like the zone. So yeah, there's not really a lot to go off. It does whatever science is necessary for the plot. It does dangerous chemicals. I need to update the this. We are now doing Ace Chemicals from Batman. There we go. If I write in what it's from. Oh, that's too long actually. Stuff you don't get to know what it's from. It's just Ace Chemicals. There we go. What are we gungling? We are gungling Ace Chemicals off of Batman. That is where the wheel landed. That is what we are doing. Every plant is made from chemical elements, so they are all everything is a chemical everything. So the key word is science. Specifically charmistry, science, chemistry, danger, but also like danger is maybe the wrong word. It's like all of these logos, they're going for high tech, but they're also going for like gentle. The key word is science. They're going for high tech, but they're also going for gentle, as you can see with all the gentle curves. Like even like if you look at like the AstraZeneca, it's an A that like abstractly goes into a Z. It's almost got like a DNA kind of vibe to it. It's like the other logos go for this sort of gentle thing. Do we want to continue going on that gentle vibe? Because these logos, ignore the middle one because it's shite. This logo goes for like prestige almost. Like the Ace Chemicals here is going for a prestige. Yeah, AstraZeneca, it's an A. You see, it's an A and then it's a Z. Because I assume there was a company called Astra and a company called Zeneca, and they merged. So are we going? I think if we go for prestige, because Ace Chemicals has been a thing since the start of Batman, I believe anyway. So it is a prestigious place. First seen in 1951. So it's not the start of Batman. It's Detective Comics 168. It's been going for a little while. It's quite a prestigious. We can go for gentle the way that these other things have gone for like gentle and natural. But we also I think we want to get away from the Joker thing. I think again we're inside kayfabe right now. We're in kayfabe, and in kayfabe, they want to get away from the Joker thing. Getting the shout. How about using the C as Ace as the C in chemicals? Okay. I generally am not a fan of like when that's done. Well, we can experiment with it, definitely. But yeah, a periodic table would be quite cool. That would be very science. The problem is like absolutely massive. The problem with periodic table stuff is it's only ever 2 letters. We're gonna give this chemical plant an absolutely massive. So get away from the Joker thing. We want to stay green in the color scheme because the general gist of this is greens. So we want like a spectrum of greens. And then we want like innovation, safety, all these kind of things. Because again, they want to rebrand to get away from the whole Joker thing. And that means let's try and not bring up the fact that a guy fell into one of our vats and became the Clown Prince of Crime, you know? Yummy chemicals are blue. Everyone knows the yummiest chemicals are green. Sorry, the yummiest chemicals are blue. General chemicals green. You're so right. Yummy chemicals are blue. That's why blue flavor is like over there you have blue Gatorade. Over here we have blue WKD, and it's just blue. It's just blue. I consider myself the light entertainer of crime. I don't believe in the monarchy, so I'm the duly elected clown president of crime. But each to their own. Yeah, red chemicals means danger. So that's the research. Let's talk about mood boarding. We've already got a couple of things in there now. Let's have a look at periodic table. Periodic table, because that might be something we can use. Periodic table square. We just want the one square. Yeah. This kind of thing. Yeah. That's kind of what the periodic table squares look like generally. So let's grab that there. And yeah, if we can like find science things. Yeah, the periodic table stuff is so clean. Like the problem is that it's 2 characters, and Ace Chemical, unless we go for AC, for Ace Chemicals. Let's grab this picture of science stuff. Thank you, Vector Stock, because we need like some kind of science stuff, like a flask or a Bunsen burner or a pipette or something like that. I think the lowercase l is perhaps shaped like a test tube. That it is perhaps shaped like a test tube. There's a lot of scope. And with them wanting like prestige, I think we could look into an emblem of some kind. like a sciencey emblem of some variety, like these kind of things. It might be the wrong vibe, but I think this may be the thing that we do. You all know about the different kinds of logos, right? I ask as if anybody cares about this shit except me. I'm gonna quickly run you through the. Oh, fuck off. Quickly run you through the types of logos. You got abstract, which is like things that aren't really things. Okay. Like not by name, but like generally, yeah. Types of logos. I have this in a doc somewhere, but that's saved on a hard drive elsewhere. Okay, yeah. So these are your types of logos. You've got word marks, which is when the word is the logo. The go-to ones I use are Google and Coca-Cola, so I'm glad that they're on there. A letter mark I just factor in with word marks, although the G from Google is a letter mark, not a word mark, and Netflix is a word mark, not a letter mark. I don't know why those two are flipped, but yeah, a letter mark is a single letter, or a monogram like CNN or HP. Pictorial mark is this sort of it is a pictorial of the name or the function. So like Apple is an apple, shell is a shell, Twitter is a bird. Abstract mark is when it's something that is not indicative of what the thing is or what it does. So like all these things, they don't say that's not a picture of a drink, that's not a picture of a shoe, and that's not a picture of a sports. Mascot logos, you know what mascots are. It's Wendy's, KFC, Pringles. When there's a guy, Duolingo I think is the best example of mascot logos because it's a guy. There's a guy. Sometimes there can be a guy, but it's not a mascot. Like the panda in the WWF logo is not a mascot. It's just a pictorial mark because it's not a mascot. It's just a drawing of a panda. You know what I mean? What if your logo is just a guy? What if your logo is just a guy? Being the Nike symbol is the Nike symbol is indicative of something, but it is abstracted to a point where it's just a swoosh. You got your combination mark, which is when you take a word mark and a pictorial or abstract mark and you throw them at each other. Like MasterCard and Amazon both take abstract marks. Puma takes a pictorial mark. And your emblems and logos are when it's like a shield or a coat of arms or something like Starbucks. I love how you guys don't say Nike. It's Nike. I think it probably is supposed to be pronounced Nike, but I've said Nike for 30 years. I'm going to continue saying Nike. Boom. Here's your 6 key ones. Your abstract letter mark, pictorial, word mark, combination mascot. And I think today we might want to go for an emblem because emblem says prestige to me. And we don't have to go completely over the top like Harvard and Porsche. We can go for something simple like Superman or Warner Bros. But we can still say prestige. So I think we're going to go emblem today, which is really fun for me because I rarely, if ever, have the opportunity to make emblem style logos. So this is going to be a fun exercise for me, which is not going to make me stress. Let's put this up here. Harvard founded 1636. Random fact I always remember. Thank you. That'll be good in a pub quiz. Anything else that we feel we need to get down? Because we've got a couple of the old logos. We've got science. We've got it's in Cambridge. Harvard is in Cambridge. Cambridge is in Cambridge. So many good colleges in Cambridge places. Beaker Science. I don't want the Muppet. Don't show me the Muppet. You didn't show me the Muppet. I also wanted a flask. I also realized I just wanted a flask. We're going to grab some flasks for the general shape of flasks. Are you aware of the power of flasks? What does that mean? I don't know what I mean when I say things. Please don't ask follow-up questions. course, Beaker didn't show up. You have to say it's true. True. Beaker's safe. He wears goggles. He's very safe. And inherently unsexy. Liquid. Connor, you said liquid. I am going to refer to point number 6. Get away from the Joker thing. I think they would want us to stay away from liquids because that will remind people of that time the Joker fell into a big vat of acid. So I'm going to invoke point 6, get away from the Joker thing, and say no liquids, unless they're just, you know, like a wiggly line and a flask, that kind of thing. Or vats. Yeah, no vats, no liquids, no... Liquid Snake is always furious. No vats, no liquids, no clowns falling. You can put away your ideas for clowns falling based logos. We're not doing that today. This is... It's little known fact about Ace Chemicals. The ACE is actually an acronym. It stands for a clown ejecting himself off a balcony into a vat of acid. Just one more marketing exec at the back bursting into tears. Yeah, but because they wanted to expand back into a clown ejecting chemicals. Or maybe it's just a clown, and that's the sound he made when he threw himself into the vat, you know. Let's go into ideating. We've got a little bit of a mood board. I'm the clown E. You're on the clown E. I'm on the regular E. I am 6 months today, by the way. I'm on the regular E, not the clown E. So the a clown, exciting. Yes. Ideating. Let's ideate. I want to try something that is combining this logo with this logo because I actually really like this cutout. I really like this cutout. Press C to Salir. Tell me what language that's in. And also, if you're a big Lego Batman nerd, tell me what game that's from. I really like this cutout. And I really like the use of these spades because I'm biased. So maybe there's something in combining a spade with a flask. Is it Italian? What's it Italian for? I don't know languages. So let's draw a flask. What is a flask? A flask is a triangle that's kind of long. It's kind of long, and then on top of the triangle there is a square. Don't worry, I am going to round out these corners and make it look all pretty later. I'm just getting the basic shapes down. So there's a square, and then there's a lip. So the lip is just a slightly bigger square. And that's a flask. That's the basic shape of a flask, right? I'm gonna pull this out like this. Just the correct way to do it. Oh, why have you? Oh, my chat became really small. Would a card with a flask on it be too joke coded? Yeah, I think cards in general is a bad sign. I think cards in general is a bad, like, that's too Joker coded. But I'm liking the way you're thinking. I'm liking that you are thinking. And let's round off these corners. Let's round these off a lot more. Would a red-lipped big grin and yellow teeth be too Joker coded managers? A little, just a tad actually. We might be able to get away with that. We may be able to get away with that. So there's a flask. There's a flask. Now I've just realized if I try and combine this flask with the spades glyph in the way that makes the most sense, breaking it down, it's going to, I'm going to do, yeah, Connor's got it. I'm going to do it. And I want you to tell me in chat when you realize that it's a bad idea. So it does. Glad. People are getting it. Let's rotate by 90. Make a copy. People are very quickly getting why this is going to be a bad idea. But I would like to continue on with it anyway, for the sake of science. Let's grab all these corners around this off, because a spade is really just a heart with some extra stuff going on. And then we turn it upside down. We turn it upside down. Let's put a little bit of shall we say, something to loosen it up. Let's put a nice white border on it just to loosen it up a bit. And are you seeing? And then I guess we just sort of enter it. Yeah, you see, you see that the ace is already the most fuckable card suit. Oh, that's going right in there. I don't know why it goes in twice every time, but just put it in. You just got to enter it. At least it's got a flared base. Is that good? What do we think to that? Did we just nail it? This would be the quickest speed run if we just nailed that. If we did just nail it, I would put that sticker on my Xbox. I think, okay, we need to squish it together a bit. The thing is, right, the designer in me is wanting to do that, but that doesn't look nearly as good. But yeah, it looks too much like what's X. So we can't do that. But perhaps the other way round? The designer in you is wrong. Trust us, the non-designers. I got a comment on the Games Workshop video that I was too designer brained. And sometimes I really agree with that. When it's like, it is legit just stuff that only I recognize and only I see and nobody else sees. I know we're giving the flask balls, but go with me. We could try and do the spades thing the other way. Did I tell y'all when I went out for a friend's birthday? Now you're just making penis. I'm not just making penis. Bear with me, I say. Spades do look inherently fuckable. Yeah, that's too much. This is penis. Like that's not good. That's not good either. We truly are getting the shit out right now. I'm gonna keep the picture. I'm gonna keep the flask. This is more sex than the previous one. I'm glad we have a penis and arse, peen-arse, if you will. I most certainly will peen-arse. I'm gonna keep the flask because I think the flask might be something that we can get some use out of. But I'm gonna stop making it look like a spades because that does inherently make it look like penis or arse or peen-arse, if you will. You cannot have Yeah, you just can't have a spade without sex implications. What if the flask is negative space on a shield and an ace inside flask? That's a lot of words. Let's go back and look at our emblems that we're using. A lot of them are pointy bottom, or NASA that's round. I don't quite know why NASA's on here. I wouldn't consider this a emblem. But they're all sort of pointy bottom. What if we make pointy top? What if pointy top? And we went like a WB kind of initials thing, but it's an A and a C, or maybe we get like ACE in there. I don't know. Let's do some building. By that I mean actually counterintuitively some erasing. Because what we need to do is bring this down. We need to erase a part of that. Pointy top was me designing a porcupine furry. Yes, exactly that. We cut too much off. Let's cut off just that. So get rid of that. And then offset by minus 20 should be enough. Again, this looks like I'm doing nothing. I'm just gonna make this blue for sake of showing you what I'm doing. And then this is something that's like a really easy. I don't hate that as a font, but it's too like it's not the right vibe. It's not the right vibe. We go for something modern, something science, something big, something again, something that says progress, something that says don't talk about the Joker thing. It also needs to be quite thin, not thin lines, but thin shapes. I've got a font in here called Bad Type. Let me find it. Got a font in here called Bad Type, and it is it uses all of the mistakes that bad typography does. Like it just uses every single one of them. I'm looking at the Ace Chemicals that's currently in frame, and I'm thinking the middle bit of the E looks like the bottom of a spade, and the A is kind of shaped like a flask. I get what you're saying, but yeah, this font Bad Type, it is my mission to, like, once in life I want to successfully use this in a rerun. But it ain't happening today. The C, see, to me the C is the worst part. So we've gone for this, which is almost kind of an Art Deco thing, and Batman isn't like afraid of doing Art Deco stuff. That doesn't look like anything happened. However, let's reopen that envelope we just made, and then turn this into a nice green color. That looks awful. That looks really bad. But the thing with this is we can. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Yeah, Art Deco, but everything sucks right now. Yeah. Batman, like, Gotham has always been a little bit Art Deco. Right, let's center this, because if we center it, then it won't move. You could put a spade in the A-hole. You could put a spade in the A-hole. Let's all get the A-hole and butt plug jokes out of it. Let's all get the butt plugs out of our system now. Let's all get the A-holes out of our system now. Because if not, we're going to be going on all night. We are still very much in the getting the shit out phase right now. This still looks like ass, I will say. Threaten us with a good time. What else am I supposed to call the hole in the A? There is an actual word for that. I can't recall what the name of the thing is. I'm gonna Google it. I need to Google it. Anatomy of a letter. I think that's gonna get me the right thing. Yes, there we go. Bowl. It's called the bowl. It's not called the bowl. The bowl is specifically a counter. Counter, that's what it's called. Bowl is specifically when it's a circle. The counter. Who's late? No, you're not late. You're precisely. You arrived precisely when you needed to, because you avoided all of the terrible butt plug jokes. We accidentally made a flask look like a butthole. I don't like where this is going. I'm going to undo this text envelope thing. That's bad. That was just a bad idea. But we are, as we have stated many times, getting the shit out. Someone suggested put a flask in the A of in the counter of an A, which is an idea. Let's quickly see what that looks like with this. No, that's the wrong font for that. What am I talking about? If I'm gonna do the idea, I'm gonna do it right. Something again vaguely almost Art Deco-y, but not quite. It's a little bit too round, but we'll make it work. Release and combine. That we can turn to white and pull that forward. All that maps up pretty beautifully, I've got to say. I don't hate that. The letter would need rounding off a bit so that it fit. That's not terrible. That's actually quite tasty. I'm going to play with its sort of balance a bit. What kind of chemicals do they make? They're vague. They're vague about what chemicals they make. They the most prominent thing they've made is the Joker. Yeah, the kind clowns don't fall in. That's a big part of it. We're making the kind of we are laundering the reputation of the place that created the Joker accidentally. They accidentally created the Joker. They make whichever chemicals are convenient for the plot, I think, is the correct answer. But they're trying to get away from the Joker thing. I'm gonna put a copy of this up here, and then bam bam. Now we've got this, which I think is quite sexy. Yeah, plottrol. That's a funky word that you've invented there. It's kind of sick. What if we cut it in half? Is that anything if we cut it in half? Now we're Two-Face. We're Two-Face now. But if we cut it in half, is that anything? There might be something. I don't think that's anything. We're still... Boss, you've made Two-Face. Two-Face did also... Two-Face also went in the chemicals. Maybe we need to shut this plant down. People keep falling in. People keep fucking falling in. Bastards. So this is an idea, and I don't hate this idea, honestly. What about wrapping around a chemical barrel? Ooh, that's something we didn't consider. Let's Google that. Chemical barrel. Is that too similar to a vat? Because it was the Joker that fell into a vat of acid. It's one of these things. Mayhap. Yeah, it's a little bit more someone can fall in. It's a little too close to vats and barrels, like shape-wise, too similar to each other. You know what I mean? I'd consider a vat a very big barrel. Yes, I mean by all means we can try it, and if it looks very good, I'll be very mad. but I don't think we can get away with it. I don't think we can quite get away with it. So this is why we're leaning on flasks and stuff, because flasks is not that. Let me just, I need to make sure that this, oh no, no. These two need to line up. These two definitely need to line up, right? Like, there's no way that I can have all this extra flab on the side. There's also the the warning symbols. The warning symbols is like, but like, okay, if we look at these other Art Deco or Saw base is not a movement I can call to memory. Ooh, that's quite sexy. I quite like the look of that. But like when it's in logo type like this, I'm not a huge fan of it, you know? I think if anything, we go for an Art Deco vibe. Like, I think Art Deco is yeah, Saw base is very it's very good in motion. This is quite a nice little font. Yeah, everyone knows the future is Art Deco if you believe Metropolis, you know? Ace Chemicals. See, this looks like it's already been, I'm sure this has already been a Batman logo at some variety, but I'll grab Croston because I think that might be. I'm not installing all of them because that's going to be a pain in my ass. I'm gonna give me an A in Croston. I just fucking installed it. Pro? No. Fuck you then. What about Macintosh style type? Let me Google that. This is like the Art Deco. I might already have a font that is basically that. As you can see, I have a lot of fonts. And sadly there's no Art Deco filter. There's got to be one in Adobe fonts somewhere. Because that would be the easiest way. So the Art Deco bleeding from Art Nouveau. Yeah. I'm not entirely familiar with like art movements because I did not study art. I'm basically entirely self-taught. But again, this I think is that not Batman the Animated Series? Is that not Batman the Animated Series? New Cabal. Cabal. I don't have it installed, but if it's in Adobe font, I can. New Cabal. Yeah, this we have these. Nothing on the yeah. It doesn't say get away from the whole Batman thing. It doesn't ever say get away from the whole Batman thing. In fact, they would probably like to embrace the Batman thing, you know. So the easiest way to do that would be to use the text block script that I have installed, but I'm lazy, so I'm going to do it manually. That would be the easiest way to do it, and that's lazy and boring. Like, yeah, guess what the big Wayne books. The Access Chemicals theme in the old Mega Drive Batman game was so good. I'm just now learning it's what Axis Chemicals in Batman 89. Um, or even, if we wanted to go a little bit more, look like we're putting a little bit more thought into it, you know. We go the up to here, then grab the word ace, make the word ace white, pull it in front. And make it a little bit smaller, you know. This is very this feels like it's cheating. I feel like I've seen this exact logo. Yeah. This is cheating. Because it's not, it's giving Criterion Collection, exactly. Like, it's not like going with the brief of what we've talked about. It's just sort of giving generic logo. And if they wanted a generic logo, there are people on YouTube that they could watch. Just trying to sort of play with forms and things. The problem with Art Deco fonts is they're thin, too thin to play with. You know what I mean? It's giving we made art for art. Yeah, it's exactly what it's giving. We wanted a logo, and we didn't give any more. If I founded this company, I'd put an exclamation mark logo in the name after Ace, just because. What if we wanted to rebrand to, what if we wanted to rebrand to Ace Chemicals for Kids? Like boy syrup. I am going to assume that I'm going to assume that question mark is also part of the logo, but also part of the company name, and it's boy syrup. Because that makes me laugh. But also, you can't call something boy syrup. You can't be calling your product boy syrup, you know? That feels like check his hard drive, you know? Oh, I loves a bit of boy syrup. You're right. It's boy syrup. You can't. Okay, oh boy syrup. Oh boy syrup is better. Because you can't just be saying boy syrup. I've also never heard of this company. I'm just flagrantly throwing allegations around. It just seems a bit sus, you know. Sussy, like some sort of backer. Can you make the C interact with the spade shape? Not with this font. But I'm just sort of vibing it out right now. Let's have a look at the shapes that we have to play with that are easy. We don't necessarily even have to use a spade shape. I mean, I know it's called Ace Chemicals, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to use like the Ace of Spades. That doesn't have to be something that we even like touch. It figured like an easy layup, you know. Hearts and diamonds are also options. Chemical flask, both flask and spade. We tried that. It looked like butt sacks. It looked too much like butt sacks. It had a flared base, and it's not that I said it looked too butt sex. It was too butt sex. The spade is too dummy thick. It was very butt sex. It's incredibly butt sex. Let's see, just have a roll through my font Rolodex, and see what jumps out at me. You know, it's been a while since I just scrolled through the entire fucking list. Yeah. Damn it, it's chemicals. We're not familiar with their game, you know. Okay. Is this anything at all? This might be nothing, but it might be something. And I want you to be brutal when I ask. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Well, I got Cinzel as a font. That's P. Thank you. I don't think I have Cinzel. Gotham does in fact have some gothic stuff to it. But I can grab it off Dafont. Ooh, okay. Not sure if it's the vibe. Gotham has a lot of gothic shit, but there's also a lot of We Want to Be Art Deco, but I kind of yes. Yeah, what if we just type Gotham into here? A lot of Gothams. Gothamic. This very much is. This I believe is something that was used in a Batman somewhere, I think. Speedy Spire, hello. Welcome. We're rebranding Ace Chemicals. There's your Gotham Knights font from actual Gotham Knights. I'm gonna grab this Gothamic because it's a little bit Art Deco, but not overtly so. And see what we can do with it. Problem with it's not gonna load up my new fonts until I close and reopen, I think. Or at the very least reload the text. Tool. I don't know quite know how to do that. Probably using lowercase is Ace Chemicals specifically strikes me as only making the E lowercase. Problem with like lowercase to me is a little bit like again, so it's like Pfizer and AstraZeneca. Moderna is entirely lowercase, so maybe we do play with maybe we go entirely lowercase, see how that looks. We could lean completely the other direction. Instead of going up like rich history and Art Deco, we go like the Moderna type route where it's really, really modern, really, really like modern lowercase approachable science. Now I don't hate that. The C and the E look almost identical, but I don't hate that. It might help if it's a medical or like chemical factory. It is kind of a chemical factory. It is kind of a chemical factory. It's specifically listed as a chemical plant, like the zone. But yeah, let's toy with lowercase. I think if we get something clean lowercase, something that still reads like progress. That doesn't read generic. The problem with lowercase sans serif is it can look really generic. And that's the opposite of what we want. We don't want the rounded edges, like let's go back to quicksand. The rounded edges, they're too far in the childish direction, you know what I mean? So we're not gonna be using those. That's too much. Too science. Filters, let's go thin, sans serif. Now, very 90s. Incredibly 90s. So 90s. League of Movable Type, that might have something fun. League of Movable Type is a good one. The problem is, I don't want to spend the entire stream looking at fonts, because I've done that before, and it's... I find it really fun. I am aware that the people that aren't me and you might not. So I want to like maybe stick to Adobe fonts if I can. Yeah. Like I can and have and will continue to look at fonts for years. I just know that others, the E, I can't decide if the E is nice or if the E is terrible. Because you remember the other week we looked at Gordon Ramsay steak when we did Harryhausen's, and that was terrible. I have activated the font. It's activating. I could like the Gordon Ramsay steak had that same lowercase e. What is up, gamers? Guess who just cried a whole lot? You just came from therapy. Was it good cry? Good cry? Are we in a better place for it now? Oh no, that's too close together. Too close together. And then we can bump up the... Let's go back to our regular fonts. Clear the filters, please. So the problem with this is, again, those rounded corners I don't love. Kind of a breakthrough with also just kind of I am a pathetic little man who will never be enough for anyone. I know the feeling, but we do love kind of a breakthrough. There's something about the lowercase e, the lowercase e kind of tilted back is a good vibe. Again, is there something we can do with negative space, do you reckon? Oh, chunky. What if, what are you what-ifing? Tilted E like a spilt flask. Okay. Not to continue pooping on any good ideas. We're operating within the kayfabe of... We're operating within the kayfabe of this is not a terrible company. We are trying to help them get away from their past. Not to double down on it, you know? I assume we've already considered the flask as capital A. We've done flask as a cutout of a capital A. I don't think we've actually just made it into a capital A. Let's try that. Because that simple brilliance might just be the thing that gets us over the line. Because the previous the logo used in the Lego game did the cutout. But if we go a different route to it, but yeah, we're not embracing the tragedy. We're operating in kayfabe of they've had a tragic past, and now are trying to work past it. You get me? We are operating within kayfabe, as the kids brackets me say. What company is this and why are they? What are they from? Arike, if I'm familiar. This is Ace Chemicals from the various Batman franchises. Skip Design Wheel, the Glitz Pit from Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Things I could use. Okay. concours. Because we've already started, I'm not going to drop this and move to the next one. However, next week's is going to be the Glitz Pit. Next week is Glitz Pit. That's a fantastic idea. I love that. That's a great idea. Love the Glitz Pit. So yeah, next week we will be doing Paper Mario's Glitz Pit. Are they the chemicals that jerkify the Joker? They are the chemicals that jerkify the Joker, and we're trying to move past that as we have point 6. Get away from the Joker thing. Got to get away from the Joker thing. But yes, they are the chemicals that jerkify the Joker. Get away from the Joker. Yes. No playing cards. No playing cards. No vats of acid. No. No vats. No spillages. They are a safe and happy and friendly and most of all safe company. Did I mention they were safe? Because they are, in fact, very safe. They've paid me a large amount of money to say this. Right. Let's build. Get rid of those two. Let's chunk all of these into one shape. And let's round off these corners here. This, honestly, is very... Ace Fat, safe place for baby. Is this Pelican Mouth? Are we doing Pelican Mouth again? Are we doing Pelican Mouth again? This looks like something out of a kid's book. I don't hate this. I'm not sure if it's the right vibe, but I don't hate this, you know? Oh, what if it was spiky, though? Like, that's what they put on their employees' merch. Could be. Could be. Ooh, what if we just went crazy with the corner rounding? What if we just went absolutely apeshit with it? That looks like ass. That looks like absolute ass. I take that back immediately. Oh, look at those corners up top. Woo, 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 woo. Here, we made you hats and water bottles, string bags. Please don't unionize merch. We could work with this. We could work with this. Or like the pointy. The pointy's pretty cool. Like this needs to, that needs to go back up there. That. What have you done? Stop that. You out. Why are those two connected? I'm so upset with that. That all the way up. If we went pointy with it. Like, there's something... I think there's something there. Could have the A kind of do that slick cut over the C. I don't hate this. We like the problem is I've built this not out of a font, so I now need to find a font that matches it. And that's going to be a little bit difficult. I still don't think we're on our final design yet, which is a little upsetting. Let's line those up. Build the letters yourself. I'm not building a letter C from scratch. You can... Oh. I'm not a typographer. Yeah, I'm not a typographer. I ain't doing that shit. I'm not good enough for that shit, you dig? What do you think about that though? What do you think about that though? I'm gonna continue with the let's say unconventional corner rounding. Why does that have an extra point? Ooh, bad. Gross. Sick and wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna double down on like the unconventional corner rounding and go, what if I rounded these two? No, I don't hate that. Kind of sexy though. Let's continue to get rid of some unnecessary points. I don't hate it when something feels off. That's because something was off. It was uneven. Yeah, I think the bottom needs to be maybe we cut the inside. Oh. Yeah, maybe it's the inside ones we do. So let's get rid of this point here. Maybe it's the inside points we do, because that'll give it that look. It's like ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? It's very ooh. And then here we can do the same thing to the outer points, to the inner points. Sorry. The top optically looks like it's further over than the bottom. It does. It is a bit horseshoe. You're right. What we can do there, because it's a perfect circle, we can just rotate it back a little bit, and that gives it another. It gives it a little forward angle. We've created a keyhole. We have created a very, very wide keyhole. I think we've overdone the cheeky rotate there. Let's be sensible. Let's be sensible. Is this going to be anything? No, that bottom one does need to be out. That bottom one needs to be out. What about these corners? These sort of inside corners. Oh, don't like that. We made a horrible mistake. Now that would be fun and funky for something else. Now put a spade over the flask. We'll put in a hat on a hat today. Welcome to hat on a hat camp. I have an idea. It may be a terrible idea. Maybe. I should hydrate. You're right. Thank you, Pinky Punchy. You should all hydrate. I know none of you have had enough to drink today. Spade is a little chemical symbol smoke cloud. Hats on hats on hats. Hats on hats on hats. Where was I? I was doing a thing. I think what we need to do is continue to pull this forward. Let's offset this by -5. Just -5. Why just -5, you say? Because we're going to top align these so we keep our firm top. What soundtrack? This is Super Mario World. This needs to be embiggened, I think. That needs to be brought in by another -5, I suspect. Because I did some maths I did wrong. You wouldn't think I'd be able to do maths wrong when it's that fucking simple, but problem with this is like your instincts is to I could use a firm top. Listen. My instincts. Ace chemicals make chemicals for asexuals. Yeah, what are chemicals for asexuals? Yeah, well, what was I saying? My instinct, your instincts are in that box. You write the word chemicals, right? But that would read chemicals ace, not ace chemicals. So you couldn't possibly do that. That would be ridiculous. Is that anything? Is that just am I just putting a hat on a hat? There's some empty space in here that we might be able to like. Let's ungroup these as well while we're here. We could shift it all closer. Kind of liked it. Make a second smaller box. More boxes. Hat on a hat, box in a box. Yeah, you're getting it. But again, this would read chemicals ace, not ace chemicals. Like we could just rebrand as ace. Like these don't say Pfizer chemicals, Pfizer. Yeah, you put a hat in the hat, you put the box in the box, and then you nail yourself, smash it with a hammer. These don't say like AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals. It's just Moderna, BioNTech, Pfizer a second time, Pfizer a third time, but spelt Sinovac for some reason. We could just go ace. The chemicals can be implied. I'm going to expand this, and then I'm gonna do some jazz here. And now the box has a little lip. And if I get rid, if I go to this, I can go to that. And then Shazam, Skadoozy. They're not base. They're not based. They're not based. That means they're cringe. Yeah, it's legally called Ace Chemicals, and everyone calls it that. Yeah, it's just called Ace. Like all the branding just says Ace. I know that shapes. I know that letter forms are different size for good. Like I know that baselines are baselines for a reason. But I just want to shunt you that down. Yeah, they prefer pharmaceuticals now. They're trying to get away from the Joker thing. Let's grab one of these. Grab a spare E. Got a spare E? Have you got any? You guys got any you can spare? And let's go this. But twice? Maybe twice that width. Maybe twice that width. There is a far better way to do this. I am aware. But I'm slapdash. Oh yeah, we're on I think we're on final idea now. I forgot British people say chemists for pharmacists. We say pharmacists. We say pharmacists. Pharmacist and chemist. Kind of interchangeable? Kind of interchangeable, I think. Since it's America, it would be called the pharmaceuticals too, because we don't call pharmacies chemists. You're the only one I know who says pharmacists. It's like it's weird. Like if you look at like Boots, I think is the most famous brand of chemist, of pharmacist, and they are Boots the pharmacist. Like they are Boots pharmacies. There's no two ways about that. They are Boots the pharmacies. But if you ask, yeah, the pharmacist. Well, like okay, yeah, Boots is a pharmacy, but I think anywhere else is a chemist. No, actually, I think I go down to the pharmacy. I don't think I go down to the chemist. I go down to the pharmacy. I think in conversation, I would say going down to the pharmacy to pick up my prescription. I don't think I'd say I'm going to the chemist. Chemist is like an older generation word. Like my mum would say chemist. I would say pharmacy. I may be influenced by American. I may be influenced by American media, but I think what do you call the person behind the counter when you go to the pharmacy? That's the pharmacist. That's the pharmacist. Or the person. I might just refer to them as the person. But yeah, that's the pharmacist. I say chemist is just the name of the shop, but the person who's licensed. Yes, apothecary. Yeah, we call it the apothecary. Yeah. Chemist or just the name of the I say pharmacy and not the name of the shop. Because we have fucking 3 pharmacies where I live next to each other. Apothecary feels like yeah. An apothecary is like what it's called in fucking Dungeons and Dragons. What if we rounded this corner? Why is there a point there? There's not a point there. Is there an extra anchor on there? Why is there an anchor on there? Gross, sick, nasty. Simplify down. Sick, nasty. Why is there a point there? I know why there's a point there. It's because I've merged 2 shapes. Simplify down, please, to 4 points. No, sorry. Grab these. Simplify down 2 points. Thank you. And now let's... What if we rounded that corner up? Ooh! Ooh! Apothecary feels like... Yeah, an apothecary would give you cocaine cough medicines. Now, it does look like a blade, you're right. God, that does look more knifey. What about this one? No, can't do that one. Now that one, no. Yeah, I really like the look of that, but no, we're not. We're getting away. We're getting away from the Joker thing. Did you guys not read the brief? We're getting away from the Joker thing. I really like that. What have you got there, Ace? Ace, better not be a knife. I quite like how that looks. You dig? But if it is it too violent? I'm not sure that it is. Make the curve longer to get away from blade shape. Like you say, take this and move and schmove it, all the while keeping the handle there. Now that looks ass. I just kind of like the right angle with the curve. I personally don't see knife. Yeah, I don't really see knife. I don't think it's particularly knifey. Having pulled the Brits in Roost chat, chemists can be either a place or a person, but it is an older term. It is an older term. It is decidedly an older term. I think I would call it a pharmacist. I don't know what other people would call it. But yeah, I quite dig this. Is it missing anything? Is it a little bit? Is it in some direction we don't want it to be? It looks like ripped masking tape, if I'm going to be completely honest. Now that's not terrible, you know? Like, it's not... Like, we obviously don't need to be directly invoking anything. But... I don't... As long as it doesn't look like a knife. The knife is the main concern. I was going to suggest top line be a dropper, but I don't know if it would be too much. Doesn't need a rounded block at the bottom. It might need a rounded block at the bottom. Like... Let's just grab and around there. Will this look too much like a burger? This might look like a burger. I already think this is going to look too burgery. No, not the whole thing. This looks burgery. This looks very burgery. Now you can put... I can put chemicals in it. You're the king, damn it, Rebecca, you're playing cards. Yeah, we're back at the playing cards. We're back at the playing cards. You don't like the corners being round. So just that? Or like just the one corner be rounded? One corner round kind of Slade because you're really rocking with asymmetry. Yeah. I kind of vibe with this. These would need to be equidistant from the thing, which it currently isn't. What we need to do is flip completely, make a copy. Again, definitely an easier way to do this, but I'm stupid and lazy. And now let's get rid of all of the copies that we made. No, that was a stupid way of doing that. Is this feels just like it's floating. This feels just like it's floating. Curve, but the other way up. Now then, chat. Is Connor cooking, or has Connor fell into a vat of acid? Because this is inherently like a. This is a futuristic shape. Has Connor fell into a vat of acid, or has Connor been cooking? Extend to the end of A. So yeah, I think that's the thing, because at the minute it's kind of dangling. So if we grab a guide to there, and then we grab these 2 points, and we go yeet. We go yeet. I said I want the corner. Okay. You understand. You understand. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Alright. I'm gonna have another crack at group this off, flip horizontal, just so I can line the two shapes up, and I remember to group them this time so I can delete them with one. So that is now lined up, but this feels like it's floating. Asymmetrical. It just feels like it's a little bit floaty. It just feels like it's floating in the middle doing nothing. Like, I think I preferred it. I think I prefer it without, or maybe like a lot closer and a lot thinner. Um, but the thing is, because we've gone for the rounded edges, there is no stable left border. So it's really hard to... If it has a word, then it will have a purpose. Like, I don't know that it will, you know? Don't know that it will. Like, it just feels a little bit superfluous. Maybe I'm overthinking because I have a habit of doing that. Ace Pharmaceutical. Because Ace Chemical, bad rap. Ace Pharmaceutical, cooking the gas. I still don't love it. Can we italicize pharmaceutical? Ace Pharmaceutical. Now it's got that forward motion that the shape itself has. But again, I'm still not sure if I like it. I'm still not sure if it's the vibe. I'll leave it to chat. Chat, yes or no? The tracking is a bit tight. That's even tighter. Fucking hell. We could pull it right out. We're back to the sets. We'll put it right out. Thing is with like tying it into the A, way easier said than done, because I'd like to just be able to like pull this down. Because if we pulled it down, but obviously but I don't know the angle. And I don't know how to know the angle, because I'm still not an expert at this goddamn piece of software. What are you doing down there? Fucking hell. What are you stray anchor? Fuck off, you. What's this stray anchor all the way down here? It's connected to something. Couldn't tell you what. There we go. Why are you putting anchors around the screen? It looks kind of cool pulled down like that. Again, it's something I was like thinking about trying, but it's knowing what the angle of attack is, because that would make whatever I put here, like it would be able to tie it in, like the elements would connect all of a sudden. But because I slapdash through this together, um, I wouldn't know how to begin with making that look good. You know? But I think what I'm going to go with is this. Oh. You see, now I've seen it with like this too much. Without the box looks wrong now. I'm a victim of... Ah! Something has happened. It moved to the other screen. Familiarity does indeed corrupt, you're so right. Right, let's just copy these 2 points. What is... Oh, the angle. The angles are wrong. Darla, welcome, welcome. How you doing? What if we... That's smaller. Is that how you spell pharmaceuticals? Have I spelled pharmaceuticals right? Am I putting a hat on a hat with this? And then let's just for the sake of argument, let's offset that by 10 pixels. No, we want to offset that by 20. Because that is a line, not a shape. Ace Pharmaceutical. I don't actually know what kind of pharmaceutical plant. I kind of dig this. It's very... We've gone sort of back. It's kind of 90s now. I forgot to that. Medical pharmaceuticals. That's the one. I think we get rid of the top. I think we get rid of the top pharmaceuticals. What if we were an aviary of adorable girls that you would find at the seaside? A farm of cutie goals. Thank you, darling. Ace, medical pharmaceuticals. It does breathe now. It breathes now. Pharmaceutical refinement. Let's just Google what it is that Ace Chemicals actually does. They are a chemical processing plant. So what does that mean? Like, they make stuff. Like processing is such an empty word. Ace pharmaceutical manufacturer. I just looked up what year it was founded in the law, but it doesn't seem to be an answer. I would lean with 1951, just because that's the only year we have. It wasn't made in 1951 because it was already an established thing in that issue of Detective Comics. But I have the Wikipedia page of chemical plant. Industrial process plant that manufactures or processes chemicals. What does process mean? Like, manufacturing is making a thing, right? Call me stupid. But is there a simple English? No, there isn't a simple English wiki page for it yet. Manufacturing is making. Otherwise processing. I'm stupid, you see. Ace Pharmaceutical Refinery. I'm just going to go back to medical pharmaceuticals. Ace Medical Pharmaceuticals. I quite dig this. I'm going to outline that. And before I outline that, this merge. Grab this, put it over here, so we have a copy. And then outline minus from. Aren't pharmaceuticals inherently medical? Yes, but also no. Fertilizers are pharmaceutical. And then we work on colors. So let's go to our next. That I gotta say, that was a big chunk of time, big chunk of time. But we're on colors now. So we're going for let's take the old green, which is nasty color. But it can be a start point. Maybe we go a few shades higher. Forgot colors was a whole section. It's a quicker section. We're only what, an hour 42. Hour 42 is quite a stretch, I will say. Hour 42 is quite a long way. This is not going to be our best time. And yeah, it can be a long section. It can be a real quick section. I think we're going to go with generally some greens. A dark green with maybe a dark green with a yellow. That seems like the eco greens. I think a dark green with a yellow is the right vibe. So ooh, I quite like this. I quite like this shade of green actually. Let's grab this. And then ooh, I quite like this. I don't hate that. I do not hate this at all. Obviously it's incomplete because it requires a dark version. But I really vibe with this as a base color palette. What is... Oh, it's the guide. Of course it's the guide. I forgot about the guide. There'll be an outline around the letters. Okay. The inside colours. Right. So this medical pharmaceuticals is only going to be on the full scope logo. It will also have a version where there is no text, and that will be the version. This will actually be the base version. This is actually the base version. Because this version, which is the full whack text and everything, is far too hard to read at smaller size. This is going to be the base version. We'll also have DC hires Pirate. Everyone hires Pirate. We're also going to have a version of the logo that is just the... I'm doing variants before I finish with colors because I got excited. We're also going to have a version that is literally just the A. And I think it's going to be just the A, the shorter version. So this is going to be our standalone. The app, yeah. Well, the app will be specifically in a rounded rectangle because rounded rectangles. So these are our three sort of versions of the logo. The favicon, yeah. So these are our three versions of the logo. And our color scheme is going to be... So going by the 60-30-10 rule, we have 60% being the main color, which is going to be this eco green. So that is going to be 60%, horizontal 100, vertical 60. So this is our main color, this eco green. Then we need a 30, so that's going to be half of that. And that is going to be our darker green. And then we need an accent color, which is going to be our 10. Now the accent color can be a neutral, like a black or a white, or it can be something else entirely. I don't think we need a third color, so I am going to defer to it becoming a neutral. That might be a little bit too bright, so we could go for like the blackest of the blacks, or if we double down into the shades pattern, we can get this really nice earthy green, which I quite like. So that in the color would be, isn't that sexy? Isn't that gorgeous? And it looks good. We can do the whole thing in just the mono. Like, depending on what background you're working with, you can have the whole thing on the black, or if you're working with a very, very dark background, you can make the whole thing on the lighter green, which is lovely. And just as a showcase, we're going to quickly open up our... We're done with that. Just as a showcase, I'll show you the convert to shape rectangle. Look how good that looks. Oh, it looks good. It looks good, doesn't it? So I'm getting a little bit not addressed chat directly, but I'm like, oh, this looks great. This looks fucking great. Because let's be honest, I'm not like tooting my own horn. This does look pretty fucking sick, doesn't it? I rapidly oscillate between tooting my own horn and going, ooh, but am I actually any good though? Am I actually any good? And I'm sick of that. I need to get over that because I'm fucking great at this. Look at that though. Oh, it looks so good. We'll even for a light neutral, because we need a light neutral as well. It's all well and good having your own shade of black. If you don't have your own shade of white to go with it, what's even the fucking point? And that's really easy because you just pull the tint all the way up. And if that doesn't suit, you can keep pulling the tint all the way up. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ace Medical Pharmaceuticals. We're in the middle of the fucking ad break. But for those that are here, let's go back to our brief. Is it sciencey? It's definitely sciencey. It's definitely sciencey because it has a... Oh, I should be done. 151.24. That's pretty good time in that. Let's go down our brief. Does it have science and chemistry? It definitely has science and chemistry. It's based around a flask. Does it have prestige? This is where we're a little bit wishy-washy with what counts as it having prestige. I believe because it takes the colors and the iconography of previous Ace Chemicals logos, I would consider this having prestige. I would consider this building off of the history of Ace Chemicals. I think if I owned a company called Ace Chemicals, I'd put a very small, very, very small M to make it say Acme Chemicals. Fantastic. A fantastic idea. Is it gentle? I think it's very gentle. The corners, most of the corners are very rounded. It uses easy to perceive colors. It's also very natural because we're using a green palette. It gets away from the Joker thing by looking nothing like the building looked while they were doing the Joker thing. It also has no playing card elements, no vats, no barrels, no falling, no clowns. Nobody can look at this and say that looks like the Joker. It's green. It's definitely green. To me, it says innovation because there is a forward momentum to it. There's like the diagonals, they slope forward. It's not overtly movementy, but it looks very modern. It looks very forward. Like there's the mixture between points and rounds gives it a very futuristic feel. And is it safe? Does it look safe? It doesn't look dangerous. So therefore it looks safe. Using terms as well like medical pharmaceutical does make people think more than like words like that. You assume people know what they're talking about. That's what I'm trying to say. You assume that people know what they're talking about when they say things like medical pharmaceutical. So I say we have fulfilled the brief. Would you all agree that we fulfilled the brief? We didn't end up going with this emblem because we instead went down the more we eschewed prestige for a more modern safe feel, and I'm perfectly happy with that. And that about brings us to the end of Touch Stream. Like I say, these ones are getting a little bit shorter by necessity of I have stuff to do tomorrow where I have to be up early, so I can't stay up streaming till 11 o'clock, which sucks. But after Christmas, we'll be back to doing really, really long ass streams. I want to double, triple, quadruple make sure you know what is happening on Saturday. I know I've mentioned it a lot. I know I've mentioned Saturday a lot, but you also assume in general the president of the country would know what they were talking about when making policy statements about the politics which works with. But, God, I want to double, triple, quadruple, sextuple down that you know on Saturday. We're doing a big stream on Saturday. Wrestling is Silly is back on Saturday. For those of you who don't know what Wrestling is Silly is, Wrestling is Silly is a CPU versus CPU wrestling show featuring celebrities, TV show characters, film characters, video game characters, other streamers, people from pop culture, all sorts of folks. I play commentator, I play lead booker, but I do not know what is going to happen in these matches. It is a rip-roaring fucking great time. You do not want to miss it. Saturday from 7 o'clock. I can reveal to you the first match of the night is going to be, not only do we have these four fantastic VTubers, we have Iolus the Purple Dirk, Frubin, Sparky Summers, and Captain Stargazer. Not only are they all vying for the Twitch title, but yes, it is going to be a ladder match. So these four VTubers will be fighting to grab the Twitch title, which will be dangling from the rafters 20 feet in the air. Whoever grabs the title first will be the inaugural Wrestling is Silly Season 2 Twitch champion. And I can reveal the main event of the night. The main event of the night is going to be even bigger than that. If you didn't think that was possible, the main event. So, Wrestling is Silly Season 1. By the end of it, we had our men's world champion, Mackie Chase, our women's world champion, Cruella DeVille, but we are not going to have a split men and women's division this season on Wrestling is Silly. So the main event of the evening, Cruella DeVille is putting her women's title against Mackie Chase's men's title to crown the first ever Wrestling is Silly unified champion. That's going to be huge. That's going to be massive. And much more. If you like silly wrestling bollocks, if you don't like silly wrestling bollocks, if you like absolute nonsense, if you like seeing people you know fake fighting, please come and tell all your friends Wrestling is Silly right here, twitch.tv/QueerBuccaneer, Saturday, 7 o'clock. I'm so excited to bring you Wrestling is Silly. And other than that, we're back on Monday for more Like a Dragon, and back on Wednesday for more of this. If you like this and want to see more, youtube.com/@QueerBuccaneer Twitch. You can see all the VODs. We love bollocks. We love bollocks around here. We love silly bollocks. We love serious bollocks. We love all sorts of shit. And yeah, I'm trying to be slightly real with y'all. I really want to grow the channel as much as I can because I really like doing this, and I want to. I like number go big. I'm not gonna mince words with you. I like it when the number go big. So if you know someone that might like silly wrestling bollocks, please tell them. It's gonna be real fucking fun. And yeah, I'm gonna go raid out into. Who do I raid out into? Number go big is very good. We hit 1,000 followers this year. That's huge. Number go big is very good. I am going to raid out into let's go and talk to. I know someone who loves silly wrestling bollocks, but alas, they're in my head, and I don't think per thing in alts counts. If you can watch it on multiple devices, it still counts as multiple watches. Rue's streaming. Rue doesn't usually stream on a Wednesday. We don't usually get the opportunity to raid into Rue. So let's go say hello, shall we? Rue is one of the combatants on Wrestling is Silly on Saturday. So if y'all don't know any of those combatants, now is a good time to get to meet one of them. If you don't know Rue, you will soon. Great person. There's your raid message. I want everyone to yell that in Roost chat as soon as we get there. And if you're a fan of gay and geeky stuff, pins or candles that smell like Dark Souls, nerdyqueer.com. It's a great place. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, until next time. Buccaneer, Buckafar, wherever the book you are. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Join the Discord if you're not already. But until then, love you, bye.